It's hard to have a rich mindset when you don't have any income coming in. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I started to resent going to work every day. As you know from the title, I'm going to be talking about getting laid off from my job. I really wasn't surprised at all, but we'll get into it. And then I just want to talk about like what are my plans afterwards, how I'm really feeling, and things like that. I don't have a script. But anyway, if you're new here, I'm going to start doing these little intros. My name is Seriah. I am 24 years old. I literally just turned 24. I graduated college in 2020. Digital media marketing was my major, and right now I am unemployed. I also am a music artist. I sing. My music is always linked down below, and I am a petite model and really just enjoy taking pictures. I started modeling in college and just fell in love with it. It helped build my confidence, so that is something that I like to do. And of course, I make YouTube videos, which is why you're here. But if you want, you can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram, where I also post content on there. And support me in my next adventure or endeavor, whatever that I want to do in my life. I would greatly appreciate it. Where should I start? Well, I was not really that excited for this year, mainly because of what was going on in the that continues to go on in this world. You know, it's a rough time for everyone right now, especially with we have wars going on. We didn't even finish COVID. We just brushed it under the rug, but it's still here. But that's not what this video is about. But I just knew like this year, I feel like it's gonna be great in some ways, but I knew there was gonna be a lot of challenges in it, and so I just prepared for it mentally, I guess. Let's start off with me in college. So in college, I was undecided on what I wanted to do for the first 2 years. I wanted to do everything, and to a certain extent, I'm still like that. Everything that I like to do is pretty much underneath the entertainment industry, which is the hardest industry to really establish yourself in. Not get into, because I feel like it's so easy to get into it, but establish yourself in, it's hard. Let me move this jacket, it keeps hitting me in the face. We had a certain amount of time to pick a major, and I waited till the last minute, sophomore year, until I couldn't wait anymore. Like basically, if you didn't pick a major, you had to leave. I finally chose a major. I'm like, okay, this is what it is. So I studied digital media marketing, which mixed business because I really wanted to do business. Another part of my major was the creative side, so it was photography, it was videography, video editing. I felt like it was the perfect major for me. It mixed both of what I wanted to do, my creative passions and then my also like business side passions, but it didn't teach me really what I needed to know. I had much higher expectations for myself leaving college, and I thought it would be a little bit easier to find a job afterwards, and it's not. It's really hard. You know, it's already hard trying to find a job out of college, but then graduating during a pandemic made it even harder for me. So graduating college, I ended up not working for a few months. You know, we were in lockdown too, and trying to find a job at that time really didn't make sense. I was like, okay, I'm gonna focus on my YouTube channel, I'm gonna focus on Instagram, and I did. I grew a lot, and when I say I grew a lot, it was way further than where I was, and I started to see progress, and I'm like, wow, okay, this is great, but it still wasn't at the level where I can support myself. So I'm like, all right, I really need to find something. I started getting stressed out because I'm not bringing in income, and then I'm gonna have, you know, responsibilities to pay. I read all the freaking financial books, and I know how important your mindset is, but when you're in something, it's hard to outthink your reality sometimes. I was doing Grubhub also to support myself. I never thought I would enjoy it, but I actually did. I got to see new neighborhoods and learn where I live better. I was also looking at like photo location, like, oh, I can take a picture there, like, oh, I can take a picture, you know. But again, not enough money to support the lifestyle that I want to live, right? So my aunt sent me a job for contact tracing, and when she had sent it to me, I was like, I am not applying to this. Like calling people, I don't like being on the phone like that. It just seemed like I couldn't do it. Time went by, and I'm like, okay, I'm not bringing in enough money, and I was just like, you know, okay. So I applied to it. I ended up landing the interview. It was over the phone. I applied in November of 2020. I didn't get that job until February. That's when I heard back that I got it. So it's been about a year that I worked there. You know, working from the state, it's hard. Like they take forever for everything. So yeah, I really enjoyed it when I started. It was my first time working from home. I work from home, like doing my own thing, you know, YouTube. But it was my first time working for a company from home, and I liked it. I get to work in my room, like that's crazy. Before college, I was working like retail and stuff. The pay was pretty good. I'll just say the pay. It was $27 an hour when I started, and it was an hourly job, not salary. So we knew applying for the job, it wasn't a permanent job, and that's actually what I wanted, because I'm like, I don't want to be stuck in a job anyway, because I know my passion is to do this. My passion is to create content. So it was really good starting out. When I started, my supervisor was so nice. I had a really great team, great people that I worked with. I actually got to see them, because it's weird when you're working from home, like some people you never see. What I like that my old supervisor did, she had us turn on our cameras, at least like she would let us know a week in advance. She wasn't like one of those supervisors that was like, okay guys, turn on your cameras today. Like, how do you know I'm not in my bonnet? So she ended up leaving and pursuing her business. So we ended up getting placed onto new teams, new supervisors, and that team was the worst team. That team, it was so hard. My supervisors, the first day we met, she was like,
I don't know what it's been like on your other teams, but on this team, blah, blah.
I'm just meeting you 30 seconds in and you already coming in way too hot. Like, you know when somebody talks to you like in a degrading manner? That's exactly how she was. If your status was unknown for like 30 seconds, she'll be like, where are you at? What are you doing? I'm like, if I was a supervisor, as long as you're doing your job, I will leave you alone. Why are you worried about my every move every 5 seconds? It was very weird. That was the last team I was on before I got laid off the first time. So in the summer of 2021, COVID cases had went down again. We barely had any work. So they were like, okay, there's gonna be a big layoff, this and that. They try to make it seem like the layoffs were random. Like, why would it be random? That doesn't make any sense. They chose who they wanted to keep. And how I feel like it goes down is the supervisor chooses who they want to keep on their team, and then it just goes from higher up to higher up, basically. I already knew it was over for me, and I knew she wasn't keeping me on her team. Come on, like, why? I didn't want to be there anyway. So they gave us a date on when they would lay us off. So I was applying to stuff before that, but the stuff I was applying to wasn't paying the amounts that I was getting. But I had an interview set up for an agency job, and I just didn't do it. I basically didn't do it because I was waiting to see what was going to happen with my job. Don't do that. Even if you have a job, still see what that other job is talking. One thing I didn't know about is negotiation. Obviously I get laid off, I don't have a job lined up, so I go on unemployment for that time. And it was actually not that bad, because during this time they had the pandemic relief program. I had that until about September, so I was kind of back at square one, like, okay, what am I gonna do? Going back into like that anxiety, like financial anxiety. Oh my gosh, how am I gonna pay things? How am I gonna live and do this and that, whatever. So in the middle of me like stressing and applying to jobs, like I was applying, okay? I didn't hear anything back. I got one interview, that didn't go well. I was actually still at work while I got this interview. It's so bad to say this, but it's true. I was 5 minutes late, so I already knew I wasn't getting it. Time is really an illusion in my head. It just flies past me. I got off at 4, my interview was at 4. That's another problem. Like, why would I do that? Get on the interview, the lady's agitated. I don't know if it was because I was late or she was having a bad day, whatever it was, but she was already not in a good mood. I was like, this is not going well. It's a dark time. I obviously didn't get the job, and she was a black lady, so I was like, I hate to bring race into this, but like a lot of things in life have to do with race, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. So I was like, okay, maybe this black lady can relate. We can get, you know, have some black girl magic, some sisterhood here. No. It did not go like that. In the middle of me trying to find these jobs, I got an email from the contact tracing job again, asking for us to come back. I got this email in October, and it was perfect timing because the pandemic relief unemployment stuff had ended. So of course I took the job, obviously, and started work like a few weeks after that. I got placed on a new team. Team was also really nice. I really enjoyed it. We didn't have like those weekly meetings like my first supervisor. There were some people on the team that I never even spoke to at all. My old team that I was on was definitely more isolating than my first team. What I really liked about my old supervisor, my last one, was that he was really chill. He accommodated your schedule. As time went on, I realized that this is not what I wanted to do. It came to the point where when it was really busy in December, January, because cases were so high, I was having panic attacks because it was too much for me to handle. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I started to resent going to work every day. Whenever I would try to talk about it to anybody, I felt like I was getting shut down because not a lot of people get to experience working from home, and they don't understand that even though you're working from home and it is a privilege in a sense, it's still work at the end of the day, and you're still dedicating your time. And it could be even harder, to be honest. You have other distractions in the house, and it's also isolating. So I started to become really unhappy in my job, and we got the notification that we were getting laid off again. This time I was a little bit more like, I don't know if I would get laid off and if I would. Obviously I did get laid off. Like, I want to work for myself at the end of the day. I really don't want to work for anybody. You gotta be a really good company, and I gotta have a lot of freedom for me to actually be happy working there, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm back in that like anxiety mode, But when it happened, y'all, like, I was almost wanting to get laid off. I was wanting it because I felt like I was really stuck there. Like, you're never really stuck, but I felt like I was spending so much time there. I had no energy to spend more time on building my own brand and building my own social media accounts. It was just kind of depressing for me. I felt like I was just stagnant. So I was like, oh, this is exactly what I needed, like, to break free. I felt excited because I'm like, this is my time. I can focus on myself, right? I had that initial excitement, but I feel like all that excitement went away when you come back to reality, to the fact that you have to pay bills, right? Then that anxiety started to kick in, and all that excitement went away. I always preach about multiple streams of income, but I feel like when I was working, I got comfortable with just that source of income because it was so good. I like nice things, and nice things come at a price, and I feel like that's why I was kind of so upset at turning 24, because I expected to, we always expect we'll be further than where we are when we reach a certain age, which kind of sucks. Like, you know, I wish we didn't think like that. Society programmed us to think that, and I'm really very thankful that I learned the importance of saving money and budgeting, because if I didn't have money saved, like, I would be in a bad position right now. So moving forward, what now? I always feel like I'm a confused little girl all the time. I just can't wait till things work out, and I know there's always going to be challenges, but I can't wait till I'm secure or established in what it is that I want to do. So my plans for right now is to continue to apply to things as a backup, because I'm scared as fuck to not have money. I have a lot of work to do with money mindset. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I read You Are a Badass at Making Money, The Science of Getting Rich. I listened to that. I am still afraid of being broke. It doesn't matter how many books you read, how much knowledge, like, it is not that easy, okay? It's hard to have a rich mindset when you don't have any income coming in. So what I want to do with my own business now is obviously create content and make money off of more money off of AdSense, but AdSense don't pay you enough, honey. So my goal is to come up with a service list of the different services that I provide that fall underneath my brand and social media. Of course, one of those services would be brand deals, so doing sponsored content in my videos on TikTok, on Instagram. That's a whole nother dilemma, because I took a break off of social media. And then another service that I would like to provide to bring in more income is doing consulting. So basically having like 30 minutes to an hour conversations with people who want to know or learn different tips that I learned along the way about content creation. And I'm not putting myself out there as the expert who knows it all, right? Because I'm still learning. But the things that you may find so simple may be so complex to somebody else. And then another service is to create content for brands and possibly other creators. Even if it's photography, I take my own pictures, like for Instagram. I know lighting. I'm starting to learn more. Like, I took photography classes in the past in high school and college. I'm starting to learn more about cameras, lenses, all that stuff. I feel like I have a lot of skills and a lot of knowledge, but I don't know how to monetize it in the right way. That's one of my plans, my social media plan. And then another one is modeling. I'm actually in a modeling group where there's models on there who are making money full-time as a model. So it's possible. Like, I feel like we often get discouraged or get told that we can't do something and we believe it, but when you see it actually happening, that's why I don't give up on YouTube, or I don't give up on other things, because I know there's people out here making a living off of it, making a good living off of it, so I can do the same. And that's how I want you guys to think. I really just used to do runway, but you don't get paid from runway. It's for exposure. I don't need no more goddamn exposure. I don't care about that shit anymore. I care about having money in my bank account. And I really want to get in commercial and beauty modeling because it's paid, one, and I think it'll be fun. I love taking pictures. Like, I love it. And then also doing music. I don't know how to make money from music. I know you make money from streams, but streaming is even worse than AdSense money. One thing that I do know from making money, good money from music, is getting your music in ads, getting your music in commercials, movies, things like that. That's where you make a lot of money in your music, but I don't know how to do that. That's kind of where I'm moving forward with my life right now. Mind you, I did graduate in 2020. Like, that's always gonna be my excuse. Like, did you graduate in 2020? No? Okay, so hopefully we figure it out together if you're confused too. I'll end with a few promos. So my mom just launched her own brand of potato chips, which is crazy, but it's called Boss Move Chips. If you guys want to check it out, you can. I'll leave the link down below also. Really good. Everybody's been obsessed with it, eating it. If you want to check out some of my songs and all the other amazing artists on there, that's also linked down below. It's called Family Business. It's on all streaming platforms. But yeah, stay tuned for everything else, and if you subscribe, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.